Thus spoke Zarathustra, the rebel. Life is a well of delight, what where the rebel also drink. They there are their all foundations are poisoned to everything clearly am I well disposed, but I had to see the grinning mouths and the thirst of the unclean. They cast their eye down into the fountain and now glances up to me their odious smile out of the fountain. The holy water have they poisoned with their lustfulness, and when they called their fi- filthy dreams delight, then poisoned they also the words. Indignant becomes the flame when they put their damp hearts to the fire. The spirit itself bubbles and smokes when the rebel approach the fire. Mawkish and over mellow becomes the fruit in their hands, unsteady and withered at the top. Does their look make the fruit tree? And many a one who has turned away from life has only turned away from the rebel. He hated to share with them fountain, flame, and fruit, and many a one who has gone into the wilderness and suffered thirst with beasts of prey, disliked only to sit at the cistern with filthy, filthy camel drivers, and many a one who has come along as a destroyer and as a hailstorm to all cornfields, wanted merely to put his foot into the jaws of the rebel and thus stop their throat. And it is not the mouthful which has most choked me to know that life itself requires enmity and death and torture crosses. But I asked once and suffocated almost with my question, what is the rebel also necessary for life? Are poisoned fountains necessary, and stinking fires and filthy dreams and maggots in the bread of life? Not my hatred, but my loathing gnawed hungrily at my life. Ah, of times became I weary of spirit when I found even the rebel spiritual. And on the rulers and on the rulers turned I my back when I saw what they now call ruling, to traffic and bargain for power with the rebel. Amongst peoples of a strange language did I dwell with stopped ears, so that the language of their trafficking might remain strange to me, and their bargaining for power. And holding my nose, I went morosely through all yesterdays and todays, verily badly smell all yesterdays and todays of the scribbling rebel, like a cripple became deaf and blind and dumb. Thus have I lived long, that I might not live with the power rebel, the scribe rebel, and the pleaser rebel. Toil solemnly did my spirit mount stairs, and cautiously alms of delight were its refreshment. On the staff did life creep along with the blind one. What has happened to me? How have I freed myself from loathing? Who has rejuvenated my eye? How have I flown to the height where no rebel any longer sit at the wells? Did my loathing itself create for me wings and fountain divining powers? To the loftiest height had I to fly to find again the well of delight. Oh, I have found it, my brothers. here on the loftiest height bubbles up for me the well of delight, and there is a life at whose waters none of the rebel drink with me. Almost too violently do you flow for me, you fountain of delight, and often emptiest you the globlet again in wanting to fill it, and yet must I learn to approach you more modestly, far too violently does my heart still flow towards you. My heart on which my summer burns, my shorts hot melancholy over happy summer. How my summer heart longs for your coolness, past the lingering distress of my spring, past the wickedness of my snowflakes in June. Summer have I became entirely, and summer noontide, a summer on the loftiest height, and cold fountains and blissful stillness. Oh, come, my friends, that the stillness may become more blissful, for this is our height and our home. Too high and steep do we here dwell for all uncleanly ones and their thirst. Cast but your pure eyes into the well of my delight, my friends. How could it become turbid thereby? It shall laugh back to you with its purity. On the tree of the future build we our nest. Eagles shall bring us lone ones, food in their breaks. No food of which the impure could be fellow partakers. Fire would be, they think they devoured and burn their mouths. No abodes do we here keep ready for the impure, and ice cave to their bodies would our happiness be, and to their spirits. And as strong winds we will live strong winds will we live above them. Never to the eagles, never to the snow, never to the sun. Thus live the strong winds, and like a wind will I one day blow amongst them, and with my spirit take the breath from their spirit. Thus wills my future. A strong wind is Zarathustra to all low places, and this counsels he to his enemies and to whatever spits and spews. Take care not to spit against the wind. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Thank you.